Hey there, welcome back friends. In this video we will talk about the concept of HATEOAS and we will try to implement a concept of HATEOAS into our existing API. Now friends, the concept of HATEOAS says that we should provide additional links along with the response so that it is easy for the user to navigate through the application, right? Now friends, to start with, we will try to implement the HATEOAS to our API which says showroom/brands/brand ID, and whenever we will hit a brand ID, we will also provide a yet another link to self. So this is our task to start with. Alright, so let's get started. Let us navigate to Eclipse and here is our application. Now friends, first of all, let us understand this response. In this response, we have brand ID and the brand name, and if we check the model, we have the model brand, and this brand model is symbolizing the data which is being shown in the response, right? So the model is very important, and in the model, if somehow we can add link information, then our application will automatically start displaying the information of link when we will hit appropriate URI. So that's the key. We need to update, we need to modify our model first of all. Now friends, if we talk about this model is also an entity, right? So there is a twist in the story and we will talk about this in a minute. But first of all, what is a link? A link will contain two things, a URL and relationship. As a result, first of all, we need to create a yet another model which will symbolize the link. So let us navigate to new and create a new class. This would be a Pojo class, plain old Java object, and the name of the class would be link. All right, first of all, we will create a string variable, name would be link, and then we will create a yet another string variable which is relationship, right? And both of these variable could be private. It is good to mark the variables as private. In fact, in here we have already marked int as private, but we have skipped on brand name. It is always good to mark these private. I am too lazy to mark these as private. It is not good. All right, so now moving forward to link. In here we have marked these two variables as private. Everything is good. First of all, let us create a constructor with no argument. So it would be like public link and no body, and then we will create a yet another constructor with body. So we will navigate to source, generate constructor using field. We will generate the constructor with both the field, and finally let us also create getters and setters. Here we go. Alright, so our object, our class is ready. Alright, so now let us navigate to our model. Let me expand this, and we will be adding a yet another variable. This would be a private variable. Name would be like link. In fact, we will give the name as links. Alright, this is good. And now when we will be adding or displaying the information in our response, we can display the information related to links as well. But in order to initialize the values, we will need getters and setters. So let us quickly create getters and setters. We will navigate to source and generate getters and setters for link. Now friends, this is very important to understand. Links are not part of your table, right? Links are additional stuff which we will inject manually. As a result, we will require getters and setters, and using these getters setters, we will initialize, we will add information inside the object. So understand this, and we won't be making use of any column annotation for this link. Alright, so this is nice. Now let us navigate to our resource. Name of the resource is brands resource. Let us expand this resource as well. And first of all, we will talk about this particular method. Alright, so we will talk about this method which is cool enough, and we won't return the information directly. First of all, we will create a local brand object. So it would be like brand equals service.getBrand. Let me cut this information and paste this in here, and then we will return brand. Here we go. Alright, so this looks good. Now friends, in here we will inject the link. Now in order to inject the link, we will deal with URI, right? And this is something which we have already seen, right? So in here we will make use of context annotation, and we will type in URI info URI, and now let us create a link object. So it would be like link equals new link, and we have link and relationship. We know the relationship to be self to start with, so let us add that. Now what about this link, right? So this link part is nothing but a URI, and we need to create that. So it would be like URI dot get absolute path dot toString. Now friends, this particular statement will give the absolute path in string format, which we want. In fact, we want the absolute path of the self resource. So this statement is good enough, and now we have a link object. Now the only thing which is left is to set the link object inside this brand object, right? So we need to do that after getting this brand object. So in here we will type in brand dot set link, and in here we will pass on the link. Alright, so we have successfully also injected the link information inside our brand object, which is again a very nice thing. Now let us quickly run this application. That would be good. And now let us navigate to Postman, and if we navigate to this URI and request for response, there is this crash, and the crash is internal server error. And if I quickly show you the console, in here the crash is mapping exception could not determine the type for link. So the element, the field which we have added in the model, it is causing the issue. The reason being, Hibernate is trying to map the field to a column in our database table. Now friends, let me show you the model. Let me expand this. In here we haven't used any column annotation. Again, Hibernate will try to map this particular field with a column in the database table. That's the default mechanism. In fact, even if we comment this information, again our application should work because the name of the variable and the name of the column are same. So there are like some defaults for column, and I personally prefer to make use of column annotation, but that's optional. Now, in order to specify Hibernate explicitly that this is not a column, we have a yet another annotation. The annotation is transient. So in here, if I try to, let me stop the web server. It is not helping me to complete the statement. Here is the annotation which is transient, and this annotation will stop Hibernate to map this particular field with a column in the database. Alright, so now our work should be done, and as of now our application should work properly. So let me quickly restart the web server again, and we will retry to hit the same URI. Alright, the application is up and running. Let us navigate to Postman, and now let us retry, and I am pretty sure that we will get a proper response. And here is the output. Let us check the pretty format, and here is the format, which is nice. In here we can easily make out that we have a yet another internal element by the name of links, and there is a link for self. The relationship is also self, which is amazing. This will be true for any other request again. So the link is dynamic. It is generated by taking help of absolute path method. Everything is working properly. Now friends, this is not enough. There could be additional links. For example, we should also provide an additional link for products, right? So as a result, there are like couple of more things which we will discuss about HATEOAS in our next video. Alright, so this is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day and take care.